You guys, Stephanie here. I am back with another video. So today I'm going to share my testimony. Comme on est aux amis haïtiens moi Stephanie là, jodi a m'a pral partager témoignage avec nous. Si nous voulez tendre, restez branchés. All right. So I'm not gonna compare my testimony with anybody because every testimony is worth telling, and God allowed people to go through things for a reason, and every testimony is worth listening to. Well, a little bit about me. So like I said in my previous video, I grew up in Haiti, born and raised, and I used to always go into church. Like, church was life, everything was church, you know. And my uncle, who I was living with at that time, was a pastor. So imagine that. So my life was literally in church. I remember, like, since our church was so far away, we will prepare during the weekend to go there, and we'll stay there till Sunday and come back home. It used to be a really refreshing moment, and very amazing, because yeah, God have, you know, by being there, you know, God have really grown my faith. That's why it kept me till today. So we am levé dans yon famille chrétienne. Tonton moi c'était pasteur, c'est moi était toujours dans l'église, moi était toujours dans toute activité l'église. So vraiment moi levé dans l'église. But even though I was raised in church, there was something that was going on in my life, where at that time I didn't really understand it, but I would say that I grew up without the father. I mean, not without him. I would say he's alive. I would say not without his presence, you know. He was not present in my life. So moi levé papa m'pat là dans la vie moi. Il en vie, but il pas présent dans la vie moi. So I remember growing up, you know, I never seen him, you know, was barely seeing him. I mean, I started really seeing him when I was like, I think 12 something. I don't really remember the age, but my mom would make me go to his house just to see if he can spend time with me and spend for my school or stuff like that, because she was the only one working hard, providing for me and stuff like that. So it was really hard for her. So yeah, so my mom seulement qui était là, qui provide, qui ban moi manger, tout ça. So papa pas tellement là pour moi, pour l'été, you know, en tant que papa, pour you know, pour bailler petit tout soin et tout ça. Bon, et voilà, tout ça yo, parce que papa m'pas nan, because my dad was not in my life, and present in my life, it causes me to grow with anger and bitterness, and I was angry at him. I was mad that, you know, I feel like rejected. I feel like he didn't want me and things like that. So those things those things were sitting in my heart for a long time. So parce que m'te levé sans papa, moi te grand pile bagay dans cœur moi pas capable forgive, moi te vraiment pas tremé ça t'a fait yo. So because tout ça te fait yo, yon ti gens yo combler dans cœur moi, yo vinn faire cœur moi gros, like m'pas tremé li, m'pas gen bon cœur pour lui et tout ça. So 2010, after the earthquake, my grandma bring us here in the US, and so in 2010 papa moi vini avec nous dans Amérique. C'est comme ça que bon Dieu pour montrer que qui j'aime pas très même ici. T'es vraiment oh par contre qui j'aime pour me dire mot ça en créole. Raïl peut-être gens li parce pas de j'aime dans la vie. Et puis so yeah, fast forward, we come to America, and it was hard living with him because I didn't really know him, and even though we were living in the same house, I would not see him. He would just go out. So I'm like, father, what kind of father is this? So même si m'était avec lui dans caille, il pas tellement là pour nous, il pas tellement à prendre soin et tout ça. Bon, j'ai deux frères, you connais. So little by little, I started to realize that, man, I do not like this guy. Even I started to realize, man, I have such a hate for him. But at that time, I would say I was not going to church. So you can imagine that. So I come to the state, it's totally different culture, different thing. It's cold out here. You can go to church, in a Haitian church with a pants. You have to have a skirt or a dress, whatever. So I didn't go to church, and I did not like the cold. So, but fast forward to I'm gonna make that story short. So fast forward to 2015. So on allé dans 2015 kounye la. In 2015, I feel like the Lord was really stirring in my heart. It's like pulling on me to bring me back to Him. And I was depressed. I was depressed, and that's when it really hit me. Like, wow, my dad doesn't care. Like, the same thing I was asking him to do, or trying to see if he was gonna be there. He was not there, and that's when I was overwhelmed. I remember crying myself to sleep. And I was just like, wow, he doesn't want me. My dad doesn't want me. And I started to have all this thought like nobody wants me, nobody loves me. And so, yeah, dans 2015, moi vin dépression prend moi. Parce que me sentais comme si me tout bagay moi te kembe dans cœur moi, et commençait à sortir, et puis tout devenu cause en dépression, m'a crié. Et tout ça me commençait à penser dans tête moi, regarder pas grand monde qui remet, papa me pas vle, papa me pas comme si l'abandonné, me dans kala avec but l'abandonné. But I remember I was crying. Nobody knows that even though it was a house full of people, nobody knows what was happening, because I'm not somebody that like to talk about my feeling, because Haitian people, this I'm really working on. So pas gen moun ki te konnen ça t'a passé moi, c'est seulement même avec bon Dieu, So I was depressed, and I was kind of suicidal at the same time, because I was like, why do I leave? Why am I leaving? So those thoughts started to come to my head. So so me commençais à penser de pour qui ça m'a vivre, pas besoin vivre, pas moun ki remem tout ça. Et puis me songe I told myself that I need to go to church. I need to go to church. And so I started going to church around Flatbush, where I was living. And I mean, to my surprise, I didn't really like them, but I would go on a Sunday just to be in church. So in 2015, that's when I started to go to church. I'm commencé aller l'église pour me capable, chercher face bon Dieu, pour me capable sentir qu'on est là à l'église ou sentir plus bien. So I started going to church. I didn't find the church that I want to go to. So I prayed. I was like, I was like, God, I need a church where I can grow, where I can find young people to grow with. And yes, the Lord did it. So moi te prié bon Dieu, moi dit bon Dieu besoin l'église pour m'aller, pour me capable grandir, pour me capable entendre paroles là, pour me capable sentir Mwen là, Mwen nan pour moi, pour me capable planter. Et puis c'est comme ça bon Dieu vont amis, puis amis dit dans l'église, et puis tout, I went to that church. So God sent someone out of nowhere. I don't want to have to tell all the story. And I started to go to that church, and from going to that church, I have started to grow. And then God started to show me, like, Stephanie, you really hate your dad. So pendant l'église, bon Dieu commence à travailler dans cœur moi, et puis bon Dieu a montré moi ou supposé forgive, ou supposé pardonner papa ou let go. And so God started to deal with my heart. God started to let me know that those things that's in your heart, those bitterness, those anger, they cannot stay there, and if they stay there, I won't be able to do what I want to do in your life, because you are holding on to something that's like killing you. You know what I mean? Bitterness is a
prison.
You say, you know what? I'm gonna say prison. Okay, I cannot say prison. Prison? Yeah, I don't know. So comment dit bitterness in French? When bitterness sat in your heart for a long time, it become anger. So I remember being angry for no reason. I was angry and mad for no reason. And I remember I go to the church. I rededicate my life to Christ. So they renouveler la vie ma bon Dieu en 2015. in October. Yeah, so I rededicated my life to Christ in 2015 in October 2015. Yes, amateur. So that was the word for French. So look at the amateur, you know, ou pas pardonner, rester dans cœur ou, li vin cause ou vin toujours fâché ou pas pour qu'ils soient fâchés. So I remember being really, really mad. Sometimes, like, I will be so aggravated for no reason. And the moment I hear his voice, I'm like so aggravated. So, and then fast forward now to 2016, God was like, so I was like, okay, I need to do next step. I need to baptize. So I remember wanting to baptize. And so in 2016, bon Dieu dit que ça c'est pour me baptiser. So I just feel like I need to get baptized. So moi voulais baptiser. I wanted to baptize, and that's when the Lord was like, he pushed that back, and he was like, Stephanie, you need to forgive your dad, let him go, so that you can free yourself. You're not gonna go to the water and get out thinking that all the bitterness is gonna go. If you don't let it go, if you don't forgive, it's still gonna be there. And it was like, it would be better for you to forgive then, now, before you go and get baptized, because the enemy is still gonna have a hold on you. Because bon Dieu dit que ça c'est pour moi pardonner papa moi, and que li pas kon better, you know, li pas kon rien qui était plus bon. So I was like, okay. It was hard. It was really, really hard, because I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious, God? I was like, okay, Holy Spirit, if you want me to do this, you gotta give me a lot of strength, you know. So moi prier, me dit bon Dieu, qu'on ou demander moi pour me pardonner papa, besoin force parce que papa fait pour compte moi. So vraiment vrai, moi relé li et puis nous parler face to face. Et puis I talked to him, I call him and he come, and I talked to him in person, and I was able to let it go. And trust me guys, when I did that, I feel like, woo, freedom, where are you? So I feel freedom. You know that song that said, no more shackles, no more chains, no more bondage, I am free, yeah. No, for a fact, after I forgive my dad, I feel like I was, you know, I was in cloud nine. I feel like something, like a burden just lifting. So yeah, so bon Dieu te ban moi force et courage pour moi te parler avec lui, moi pardonner, me dire mais ça te fait pas te fait bien et tout ça, et puis tout pendant après me fin pardonner, là me senti léger, moi senti pas loin encore. Bon Dieu délivrer. Yeah, forgiveness is oh my God, I need the Bible in French. My Bible is so far away right now. So my other Bible. So God led me to forgive him, and I was able to, and then it was super. It was a breakthrough. Okay, forgiveness can hold on your joy, your peace of mind, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Don't you want to get all the abundance of blessing that God have for you? Okay, you want that, right? So sorry guys, I need the Bible in French. So why am I sharing this with you guys? I'm sharing this because I know, especially in my culture, a lot of young people grow up without their father being present in their life, and they are bitter, they are angry, but they don't even know that they are angry until, you know, something happened, and that's when they're gonna, like, you know, lashed out. So the reason raison when ma share, ma partager témoignage avec nous, c'est parce que me connais grand pile nous mêmes haïtienne qui levé sans papa, you know, pour compte nous, et bagay ça qu'on fait nous mal après dans futur là, ça nous pas même rendre compte dans relation, dans tout ça. I'm telling you, when a father is not being present, it can mess up a lot of things, like relationship wise, friendship wise. You just feel like you cannot trust nobody, and you feel like you feel like you're gonna be rejected by the person. That's another video. I'm gonna make a video about rejection as well, because rejection was something I was still dealing with as well, because you feel like if you're being rejected by your own father, you feel rejected by them, you're gonna feel like everybody's gonna reject you. Like, you don't want to have a relationship, you don't want to have a friendship. You've always put in your head, oh, this person's gonna, this person's gonna let me down. So yeah, I forgot the word again. L'amertume can capable cause always toujours sentir rejeté, pas gen moun ki vle dans la vie ou pas gen moun ki reme ou, et ça quand même cause problème dans famille ou dans foyer ou dans reme dans amis, tout ça. C'est ça qui fait faut nous deal avec, faut nous camper carré, tant que bon créole l'a dit, camper carré, faut camper carré contre lui pour capable pardonner, pour capable free yourself, it's you that's in bondage. Just guess what, this person, it's working out there, and you over here like you're drinking that bitterness, you're drinking that unforgiveness. Guess what, who's dying? You are dying, not them. They're working freely out there. They don't even know that they're doing you wrong. That's the thing, they don't even know that they're doing you wrong until you tell them. Whew. Anyways, so I have some verses that will help you guys to forgive. Let's go about forgiveness. Hebrew 12:15. Why is it so important to forgive, right? Hebrew 12:15 says, see to it that no one fall. No, this is about bitterness, actually. Sorry. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter roots grow up to cause trouble and defile many. Bitterness is a root, and you have to uproot it. You have to uproot it, because it will cause trouble. Bitterness causes trouble. Can you believe that? It will cause trouble. I'm telling you, it will cause trouble in your friendship and everything. It will cause trouble, and it will come with all the little things like anger, like rage, like unforgiveness. That's what it come with. It causes trouble. That's what Hebrew was talking about. He said, if there's any bitterness root among you, you better uproot it. So let me read it in French. Okay, I think I got it. All right. We are in business. Ok, Hébreux 12:15 dit, veuillez à ce que nul ne se prive de la grâce de Dieu, à ce qu'une racine d'amertume. Okay, I haven't speak French in a while, so it's kind of hard for me right now to open my mouth to speak. Oh my God. Okay. Hébreux 12 Verset 15 dit, veuillez à ce que nul ne se déprive de la grâce de Dieu, à ce qu'aucune racine d'amertume poussant des rejetons ne produise du trouble et que plusieurs ne soient infectés. When l'orgueil amertume ça là ou même, they can affect l'autre monde. Son pas même connaît même les affecter l'autre monde. So that's why you gotta be careful with bitterness. You have to really be careful with bitterness, because it will infect other people without even you knowing, And the second verse is gonna be Ephesians 4:31. Okay, Ephesians 4:31 says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawl and slander, along with every form of malice. You see, Ephesians was talking about we need to get rid of bitterness, because bitterness is a type of thing that can destroy you. And as a Christian, we should not have bitterness among us, in us. We should definitely pray in that God help us to let go and forgive the one that need to be forgiven, let go the one that need to be forgiven. So I'm gonna read it in French. It says, Ephesians 4 verset 31, que toute amertume, toute animosité, toute colère, toute clameur, toute calomnie et toute espèce de méchanceté disparaissent du milieu de vous. All of these things, tout bagay sa yo supposé remover nan ou même. Bon Dieu vle pour remover yo. nous mauvais parce que pas bon pour santé, pas bon pour esprit ou, pas bon pour for your work with God. You're gonna be stagnant, not knowing that you're stagnant. Now let's talk about unforgiveness. Matthew 6:14. Matthew 6:14. Let's go to Matthew, right? Matthew 6:14 and 15. For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sin as well. So we must forgive. We must let go. We must. It's a must. It's not like, oh yeah, if you want. No, it's a must. It's a must. You cannot brush it to the side. You have to forgive, because God knows that if we don't forgive, the enemy have ways to come into our life to destroy, to do anything crazy in our life. That's why God says we need to forgive. So I'm gonna read it in French. It says Matthieu 6 verset 14 dit, si vous pardonnez aux hommes leurs offenses, votre Père céleste vous pardonnera aussi. Mais si vous ne pardonnez pas aux hommes, votre Père ne vous pardonnera pas non plus vos offenses. It's not offense. It just spelled the same way. And sometimes I'm like, what? Okay, it's not offense, it's offenses. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Anyways, I haven't spoken French in a while. It's really hard sometimes. So, I'm sharing all these verses with you so that you can go about them, read them, and ask God, whoever it is a father, is a mom, is a brother, cousin, uncle, that you need to let go, because you tryna don't you want everything that God have for you? I want everything God have for me, spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, all of that. And unforgiveness, if you have them in you, it will block every good thing that God have for you. Let go is a must. You gotta let go. You gotta let God, and do your part. Your part is to let go, and God can deal with that person when their time comes. Trust me, the time will come, because if you are a Christian, I know you will want to see your family, whoever that person is, to get saved. So do your part, forgive them, even though you don't have a relationship with them right away. If it's meant to be, it will be. Like right now, I talk to my dad, but I don't feel aggravated like I used to, before. I'm like, I'm not calling. I don't want to call. I don't want to talk to you. But now I feel peace. I'm like, okay, if you don't show up, you don't show up. It's fine. I already know who you are. So I'm not gonna let this block me. I'm not gonna let this make me continue to work in bitterness and rejection. All I can do is pray for you and let you be. Now, if in the future for us to become closer, then let it happen. So yeah, pas quitter bitterness, pas quitter amertume, pas quitter pour pas pardonner maman, bien papa, ou frère, aux amis, n'importe moun bon Dieu t'a mette pour qui sous cœur, ou connaît qui sous cœur, qui a un péché ou avancé, qui ou connaît qui fait que gros, ou supposé la gueule, parce que sous pas la gueule, la kembe tout blessing, la kembe ou from la kembe pour pas même grandir, pas même kagop. Ou pour dans l'évangile là, pour pas grandir vrai. Gon bagay qui nan même qui pas grandi, ou pas grandi ou l'autre moun a grandi mais ou pas grandi, mais ça qui fait ça c'est parce que ou gain bitterness, ou gain amertume, ou gain anger, ou gain unforgiveness, ou pas pardonner, ça ou ka kembe pour pas grandir. Sou chita nan bagay sa yo, li pas bon pour vous, so faut lage yo, let go. Quitter bon Dieu agir avec moun ça, ou même pardonner que free yourself, délivrer tête ou, libérer tête ou, et puis quitter bon Dieu régler avec moun ça. C'est bon Dieu qui parle régler moun ça, pas ou même. Just like I think Paul said that forget everything behind you, everything that passed, every past thing. Left them behind. They are behind for a reason. Now focus on what's ahead. Focus on what's ahead. Whatever happened in the past, whoever hurt you in the past, let them go. Let them go, okay? Now move forward. Move forward, because there's more things that God wants to do in your life. There's beautiful, great things that God wants to do in your life, and God cannot bring it to you because there is blockage. So, quittez ça qui t'est passé derrière yo, n'importe ça qui t'est passé avant, blié yo, fais bon Dieu confiance, pardonnez moun ça, mandez bon Dieu pour force et courage pour pardonner, parce que bon Dieu gen belle bagarre li vle faire pour la vie, okay? So, I'm glad I was able to share my testimony with you. I hope that it touches somebody and helps somebody today to let go, forgive, and uproot every bitterness out of their hearts, so that they can go for everything that God has for them. So yes, mwen te content de partager témoignage avec nous, que témoignage ça fait nous aider nous pour nous pardonner, aider nous pour nous nettoyer corps nous, mettre nous en forme pour bon Dieu capable, pour ça bon Dieu pour la vie nous, pour capable régler. Okay? Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody.